Hey everybody, Ben Friedman here recording another video, and we are looking at an interesting deck that I am working on. It is Bant Deathblade, which is basically the way that I structured it, it's kind of like the Delver decks that I've been playing a lot lately, but we replaced Delver with Noble Hierarch, and we're trying to go a little bit bigger in a different direction. So I've become kind of known for having my Delver decks go a little bit bigger than the traditional Grixis low to the ground Delver decks. And this is just a different direction of that, where basically the way that I structure the deck, we are able to go toe to toe with Delver decks in low resource games, but once the game drags out, we have a ton of cards that are really, really, really hard for an opposing Delver deck to answer profitably, and we have a high likelihood of getting there because we have so many mana producing creatures. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We'll start with the mana base. We have pretty standard um, 8 fetch lands, 4 Flooded Strands, and 4 Misty Rainforests. And the reason that we have those is because we actually have 1 Savannah to go and get, in addition to our tropical islands, 3 of those, 2 Tundras, and an underground sea. And then we obviously also have 4 Wastelands. The reason for the underground sea is, of course, to turn on Deathrite Shaman. Then we have Noble Hierarch as kind of supplementing Deathrite Shaman. These are our 1-drops, basically, instead of playing Delver. We only have 7 instead of 8. Maybe we want all 8, but I think that 7 is okay. Then we have 3 Spell Pierces, 3 Ponders. 3 is kind of an awkward number for Ponders, but I think that it's okay here. It's possible that we do actually want the 4th and we need to cut something on our higher end, but I'm going to stay with 3 for right now. We have 4 Brainstorms and 4 Swords to Plowshares, kind of mainstays of these decks. And then we've got 4 Stoneforge Mystic to go with 1 Jitte and 1 Batterskull. Stoneforge Mystic has fallen out of favor in Legacy lately, but I think that it is possible that it's time for the Stoneforge to come back. And we're going to try it out today, obviously, and see. We have 3 Dazes. 3, again, a number where somebody might say, what the hell, why are you playing 3 Dazes? So the idea here is Daze is bad in multiples. Daze is the kind of card that you don't want to draw in the late game. Daze is the kind of card where your opponent can play around it, and you want them to play around it. You want them to respect your Daze, especially if you're not playing the full 4. I initially had only 2 Dazes in the list. We're going to see how Daze performs, but I think that it is not crazy, not preposterous to only play 3 Dazes. The other nice thing is that Daze is great when you start with a turn 1 Noble or Deathrite Shaman, and then you follow it up with a Daze on your opponent's card, then you Wasteland them, and then you play another 1-drop, either a Ponder or another mana-producing creature. So I'm pretty interested in having Daze in this deck, but we'll see. Worst case, it does, of course, pitch to Big Daddy Force of Will. We have 3 Snapcaster Mages because it's my favorite Magic card of all, and but actually, I think that it's just a fine card, and I like that it's an incidental body to carry equipment, and I like that it is redundant copies, or additional copies, not even redundant, additional copies of Swords to Plowshares or Spell Pierce, as the case may be, whether we're playing against combo or aggro, and it can always just cycle with Brainstorms and Ponders. I like it a little bit better than Vendilion Clique. But I could be wrong. It's possible that Clique is the card we want. We have some in the sideboard, so never fear. We've got 4 True-Name Nemesis. True-Name Nemesis is awesome against a whole variety of decks. Basically, it's good against Death and Taxes. It's good against Miracles even, because they can only answer it with Terminus. It's good against mirror matches, obviously, or semi-mirror matches against Delver decks. And it's just a really powerful card. It's fine against Eldrazi also, because you have this body that they can't really break through, and it's just going to sit on the board and allow you to take the time to draw eventually to your Stoneforges, which will then get Batterskull, which will then end the game. Then, of course, we got Force of Will, Batterskull. That's the main deck. Let's take a look at the sideboard, which is where things get interesting. We've got one Path to Exile as another Swords to Plowshares effect against Delver decks or potentially Eldrazi decks. We've got 3 Flusterstorms and 2 Vendilion Cliques. That's our combo corner, and it's important to have those because we need to sideboard out a good number of Swords to Plowshares, maybe Batterskull, Stoneforge Mystic, a lot of cards that aren't really efficient or disruptive. And so yeah, we've got those. We got one Jace the Mind Sculptor, which is just a beautiful Magic card. There's not really much else that we can say other than that. It's beautiful. We've got 3 Surgical Extractions to hook us up against lands or graveyard decks like Reanimator or Dredge. We got 1 Sylvan Library, which is, again, a beautiful Magic card that is very good against Miracles, especially. 1 Zealous Persecution. Now, I think that that's a really important card to have against Elves, Infect, Death and Taxes, and it's fine against mirror matches. It's also pretty good against opposing True-Name Nemesis, so keep your eye out for that. And then 3 Abrupt Decay is also for Miracles. It's important that we do not get ourselves stuck under a countertop lock, so I want to have Abrupt Decay as outs there. And yeah, we're just going to fire it off and battle.